Number 4, not enough tension or potential conflicts. So we've gotten to a point in writing where just the one conflict is generally not enough anymore, right? Just the hero going to fight the Demon Lord is not, like, it won't hold the attention of readers, it won't hold the attention of viewers. We need something more. And this something more can be, as simple as just, hey, during the journey, the hero is in a conflict with his friend, right? He's having a conflict. Maybe his friend thinks that he should be the hero instead of our hero. And so he's constantly trying to kind of prove that he's better. He's constantly trying to outperform the hero, and this is to the detriment of the party, right? Suddenly, things just become a whole lot more interesting. Suddenly there's conflict. And this conflict, it's not just this in-the-moment conflict, it's this conflict which might build up into something greater, which might climax towards the end of the book, Just simple things like that. Try, so the tip here again, look, if a scene is too simple, or if a subplot or overarching plot is too simple, look for ways to give it more conflict. Look for ways to challenge the main character, to give him more than just like what the readers expect. Number 5, no hooks. There's actually quite a big thing in a number of animes, especially isekai ones where the main character is sent to a different world, where what just kind of happens is they just end up traveling the world. They're sent to this other world. They get some sort of like special power, and then they just end up traveling the world. And yeah, and it's like, why? Like why am I watching this, right? He's already powerful, he already has money, like, why? And this may not be the case. This may be a little different in stories, like maybe the hook is not brought in fast enough, like maybe there is a hook to the story but you don't find out what that hook is till like halfway through. This is generally the like what's known as the inciting incident in the story, which is something that happens to the main character towards the beginning of the story and is the driving force for him, or the big climax, the big conflict in the story. Maybe this just needs to be done sooner. Examine again, what is the hook? Why are people reading about this character, right? What do they want to know? What is keeping them on this story? Number 6, audience comes to the conclusion before the hero. This one thankfully doesn't happen too often, but I think I see it mostly in films where the films kind of seem to think that people can't put 2 and 2 together. In general, readers are pretty smart, and they will put things together. They'll put things together pretty well. What you don't want to happen is you don't want the reader or the viewer to be shouting at the book or the screen going, "This is the bad guy! How can you not see this?" Right? Or "This is what you need to do," before they've come to that conclusion. And because the reader has already come to that conclusion, any kind of hints, any kind of story to, from that point until the hero comes to that conclusion is going to feel boring. It's going to feel wasted space because they've already learnt that. They don't need to learn it again. They don't need to read it again in the book. The tip for this is something that can, I guess, you'll need to get, if you're unsure, you'll need to get through via beta reading. Just get someone to read the story or explain maybe the points leading up to that and see if they understand, see if they get it. Number 7, not enough variety. So the best way I can describe this one is if you have the same kind of story beats that are just happening over and over and over again. A good example of this is, I guess, like kind of pretty much any power fantasy isekai, where the main character is taken to another world, gets a bunch of, gets really powerful, and then the hero, a villain is doing his villainous things, and then the hero comically puts an end to him because he's way stronger. And then that happens again. It's like, okay, different town, different baddie, but it's the same thing where it just happens again and again and again, and there's nothing that changes, right? A A good a thing that an example of a book that did this right is Harry Potter, or a series, I should say, right? Because Harry Potter has a structure. It has Harry starts off at home with the Dursleys. He gets on the Hogwarts Express. He goes to school, and the bit with the Dursleys where he goes and gets his books and his wand and everything, for the next year, and then goes on the Hogwarts Express, that could get boring fast. But J.K. Rowling does an exceptional job of making that different in every single book. Just look at the second book, right? They miss the train and they get on a flying car to go to Hogwarts. I think it was still so early enough that the train wasn't boring by that point, but hey, what do you know? I think that's an example of something that was done that is done very, very well, but could have easily been, a real detriment and pacing issue to the book. So, the main tip for this again is just look at to see if there's any parts of the book which are essentially just the same thing, and make them different, or give them some kind of twist that makes them feel different. And finally, number 8, scenes that need to happen but are slow. And so what do I mean by this, right? Say the hero, again, I'm going to use the hero's journey as an example here, right? The hero is going to fight the Demon Lord, but he needs to get stronger. So there needs to be him getting stronger. There needs to be scenes of him getting stronger and showing that he is stronger before he gets to the Demon Lord. This can be boring, Some if you just skip that, for example, and he gets to the Demon Lord, it's going to be unsatisfying when he defeats the Demon Lord, because the readers or the viewers are going to be like, but he doesn't deserve that. He didn't do any training. He just got this power. He just somehow beat the Demon Lord, So sometimes these scenes need to be in there, and that can cause pacing issues. And this is a tough one. This is probably one of the tougher ones to work out how to fix. You can do things like make the scenes smaller and make them relevant to minor conflicts which are happening throughout the novel. But this is actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this video. I was recently watching an anime called So I'm a Spider, So What? I know the title sounds weird, right? The main gimmick, again, this is one that I was talking about before. It's an isekai where the main character and her classmates have been reborn in this other world. The gimmick of this is that the main character is reborn in this world as a spider. Yeah, I know, a spider. I know what it sounds like. This show runs into the same sort of issue. She is in a cave. She's trapped in a cave. She has to fight her way out. And to do that, because the enemies are strong, she needs to get stronger herself. And this can get boring. This goes on for a while. This goes on for I believe, like, where I'm currently watching, it's in the 3rd light novel. So 600 odd pages of book, 600 plus pages. They do have point of view chapters from the other classmates, from the other classmates to see what they're doing. But I wanted to use this as like a case study to show how this show realized the pacing was bad and how it fixed it. So during the show, there are, as I mentioned before, parts of the episode or chapters in the novel that take place from the point of view of one of the other classmates who was reborn as a human and is in school. Now, I won't go into details about these other point of view chapters, but they were done pretty well. They're done pretty well. They give you more world building about the world. They even introduce the greater conflict which is going to happen in this world, which is the Demon Lord, who is building up a kind of force to invade the humans. What happens, during the pacing of the main character getting stronger, is it reveals the fact, and spoilers for the show, by the way, if you've not seen it. It reveals the fact that the chapters of the main character getting stronger are actually taking place 15 years in the past, and or you could say the chapters of the classmates are taking place 15 years in the future. So immediately you're like, oh, okay, something's happened here. Can the main character have gone 15 years and not escaped this cave yet? Did she die? And then it's immediately revealed straight after that the main character has become the new Demon Lord, and she is the one who is gathering these forces against the humans, who she knows are her classmates, and are doing these like big plays, these big, actual world, altering events, like history altering events. And then it goes back to her, training and being a spider, and then we get some more chapters of the classmate in the future, and it makes it suddenly more interesting, because I guess what's happening is, first of all, we know there is an end goal to what she's doing. The main, because we always knew she's going to get out of the cave, right? The main character. This shows us, okay, something very interesting is probably going to happen very soon to her. The other thing it does is the chapters with the classmates, I would actually argue, were the side chapters, like the chapters you didn't really care about to begin with. And what this suddenly does is makes you really, really care about these chapters, right? These are now the chapters that are progressing the plot forward, and it kind of de-emphasizes the training a bit. It kind of allows you as a writer to kind of wrap up that training a bit sooner, to have a bit less of it and concentrate a bit more on the thing, because you know what's going to happen. You're just kind of filling in like the blanks at this point. And I thought it was really good, because So I'm a Spider, So What? It did have pacing issues throughout, like the first, throughout maybe the midpoint, episode 5, 6. These pacing issues were starting to show. You were kind of going, okay, we've seen her fight the creatures in this cave and beat them and level up and evolve, and fight them and beat them and level up and evolve. We've seen that, seen that, done that, right? This adds that twist. It adds that extra thing into it that we were waiting for to really accelerate this pacing. So again, scenes that need to happen but are slow are a hard thing to get around. There is not really any kind of definite like do this, do that. You just have to kind of work out what is best for you. And this is just an example of a show which has done that, which has done something to get past that, that point, that slow grind of the main character needing to get stronger or needing to get to this point. Because I've seen this happen a lot of times in many books, and yeah, it's generally pretty bad when it happened. So those were 8 tips on how to improve pacing. I really hope that helped you, and if you found this informative, please hit the like button and subscribe, and maybe write a comment to tell me how fabulous I am and how bad my corona hair is. Again, hope you enjoyed. This has been Thatseffinrich. I'm Richard Sheraton, and I will see you in the next one.